Okay, hey you guys, what's up? It is your girl Hannah back at it again. I got a real crazy story time for you guys coming right now. This is part 2 of the fake friend story time. If you guys see the video, you'd probably want to go a little bit way back to go see that back into 2024 to see that video. This is 2025 now. It's the new year. I said I wasn't gonna post this video. Well, I said I would post it, but it would take me time. So we're here and we're ready to do it. So I had this really bad fake friend that wanted to use me. So I do not know what that sound is. And it got out of hand. It got out of hand. Okay, I had these 3 friends that were coming to my house all the time when I was living in Romulus. Okay, I had 2 that were really bad. Fake friends. The other one was actually a friend. The other one, the one I'm talking about, we're going to call her Sarah because I believe that's what we called her in the last video. I'm living here now. Okay, this girl started really badly, getting really bad when I moved here. This all started with a text on TikTok. This was before TikTok got banned. I don't know exactly if they got banned. This was when TikTok was big. So I got this text saying, "Why are you not in school anymore?" And I'm like, one, this is creepy. This is how it started first. It's like, this is creepy. This is a stalker. And I knew it was. So I go take my phone to my dad. First he writes, "Who is this?" And then he waits a little while to see the response. Okay, we knew this was Sarah because I said, "Dad, let's go on the account and see who this really is." It's this person, Sarah. So I say to my dad, I'm like, what do we do in this situation? He's like, "Let's wait and see if something else happens." Next, 3-4 days later, I get a random call. Which I told you guys on story time before, but I'm going to tell you in this one too. I get a call. I answer it. I thought it was one of my aunts. So, because the number looked kind of familiar. So I answer it, and I'm like, "Who is this?" And they're like, "This is Pizza Hut. Did you make an order to this? Can you give us your address and door number?" I say, if this is Pizza Hut, you would already have this information. So I'm like, "Who are you really? What do you want?" Because now I'm getting irritated. I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, "Who are you? What do you want?" And they don't say nothing. It's just laughing in the background. So I'm like, I can hear the laughing. "Who are you?" They did not say nothing. So now I'm yelling at this phone "Who are you? What do you want? What do you want from me? How did you get this number?" Because I'm really trying to figure out how this person got my number. So my dad comes in the room. He's like, "Who are you yelling at? Who is that on the phone?" I'm like, "I don't know who this is." So now my dad's like, "Who are you? This is my child's phone. What do you want?" So I'm like, I'm now getting really irritated. So now I'm getting really irritated and wanting to know who the heck this person is. So my dad hangs up and he's like, "This is Emma. Block this number. Don't answer it ever again." So now I have blocked the number. I blocked the number. And a few months later, she retexts from an unknown number because my phone told me it was unknown. So I'm like, "Who is this?" And they're like, "Hi, hello. I like your bows a lot. I'm like, what are you? And somebody for the influence business?" And they're like, "No." So now I know you're not from the influencer business. I don't know who the heck you are. I don't know how the heck you got my number. So I'm like, who are you really then? And they're like, well, you don't need to know that. I'm like, yes, I do, because you have my phone number. And they're like, no, you still don't need to know. I'm like, now I'm like in my head, like, I'm going to call my phone company and tell them to change my number. I'm thinking. So now I get this. So I'm like, I get this. So ready for this? Are you ready? You really should be sitting down. They're like, you're never going to blow up on the internet. You're never going to blow up on TikTok. You're doing something stupid. I'm like, why do you have all these animals? You don't need to have them. Girl, I text this person. I'm like, who are you? What do you want? And don't say that to me again. I'm like, you're pushing my buttons. And you're like, oh, hold on. I thought I heard one of my family members yelling outside. So, now I'm done. I blocked this number again. Okay, they don't ever text me, call me again. Now, I'm in the hospital. I'm really sick with flu. Okay? Could not walk to my trash chute and back without having an asthma attack. I could not take my dogs on the elevator downstairs outside to go to the bathroom. So now I have ended up in the hospital because it got so bad. Okay. My mom went to go grab a coffee and some food. Okay. And I'm in the room for a few minutes, like 10, 20 minutes by myself. Out of that 10 to 20 minutes, I get a call. And I answer it, and they're saying they're Hungry Howie's. So I'm like, my parents have used my phone before for Hungry Howie's orders. So I text my dad, and I'm like, did you order anything? Like, Hungry Howie's is on the phone asking for our door number and how to get in the building. And so he's like, no, I didn't order nothing. I would have told you if I gave them your phone number. So I'm like, okay, now it's suspicious. I text my dad. I'm like, in a minute, I might need you to call me because it's getting weird. And my mom's not in the room right now. Okay. So he's like, okay. And he's alright, what's going on? So now, I get this person that texts me and calls me. It's on the phone. And I'm like, who are you really? Because you're not Hungry Howie's. Because I'm like, I know you're not Hungry Howie's. Because I'm like, I know you're not. So I'm like, do you think I asked this person, like, do you think I'm stupid? Because I'm like, this has to be you, Sarah. And they're like, no, this is not Sarah. I am so sorry. This is Hungry Howie's, and we would like to know how to get in the building and your door number. I'm like, if you're Hungry Howie's, you would know my door number and how to get in the stinking building. I am not stupid. I tell this person. I am like, you don't want to be playing with me right now. I am really sick in the darn hospital right now. I don't want to deal with you. Who are you and what do you want? And I'm like, how did you get my phone number? Because Hungry Howie's would have told me. And they're like, no, this is Hungry Howie's. I'm very sorry for you that you're in the hospital. I'm like, I'm now, like, boiling, like, getting a headache, about to hit the darn nurse button because my head's starting to hurt. I am, like, so done. So now, my dad's on the phone. He finally calls me, and I have him on. I have this person on mute and him on the phone. I'm like, this person keeps on telling me that they're Hungry Howie's. Are you sure that you did not order nothing? Because I am very going to get sorry in a minute if I yell at this person. And I'm like, he's like, no, I did not order nothing. We just went to go get Chinese food. Did not order nothing. So now, after him telling me that, I know that this is somebody. Okay, now my dad's on the phone, and he goes, this is my daughter's phone. Who are you? What do you want? So we're like, so done. Now, my dad's like, I'm like, Sarah, if this is really you, we're about to make a police report for stalking and harassment. So, now, that's out of the way. And he goes like, this person goes, this is Sarah. And I'm like, we're very sorry that your daughter's in the hospital. We will never call this number again. Boy, did she lie. She called him another number a few weeks after I got out of the hospital. It gets better. Now, this girl's called from another person's number that was a friend before that I thought was a real friend. And they're like, I get this. A bunch of racism stuff. And I'm like, now in my head, I got black in my family. I am not going to deal with nobody calling me racist. If you ever do that, you're really hitting my buttons, and I'm about to go flip out on you. Because you don't want to do that to me. Because I got it in my family, and you just saying things about me is saying things about them. So I'm like, done. So, I get this. Why do you wear that many braids in your hair all the time? You should not be doing that. Because around this time, 2 days before that, I made this TikTok. And I posted also on Instagram. Look at my new fresh set of nails. Look at my new fresh set of braids. And I'm like, what do you think about them? Okay. They're like, what? And I'm like, this person liked my TikTok. So, I'm like, you must think I'm stupid. I know it was you that did that on my TikTok. You really might want to try a new name. I said. And I'm like, why would you even like it if you don't like it at all? So I'm like, don't ever talk about my braids. Don't ever talk about my nails. I'm done with you. I'm really about to make a racism report. Because, I tell my mom comes in the room, and now she's on the phone. And she's like, don't ever talk about my daughter. You just need to stop worrying about a whole other person when you should be worrying about your life. Girl, wait for this. My mama calls the police, and she tells the police everything. We screenshotted the stuff, send it to them, and everything. So I'm like, I text this person, I'm like, the cops are going to be coming to your house because of everything that you've done to me. You really push my buttons to the point where I'm doing this now. Because I said don't ever talk about them. And I'm like, oh, we're so sorry. Please don't call the cops. I'm like, they're already on the way. So but you better get yourself prepared. Instead of stalking people, calling them names and all of this, you should be worrying about your own life. She's like, she texts me and she's like, you would never call them. You're never going to do that. You don't have the strength to do that. I'm like, boy, do I not. Because I'm like, you really hit some buttons now for doing that. So I'm like, I hang up the phone, I block the number, and I get this. You really called the police on me? Why would you do that? I thought you were my friend. I said, no, you're not my friend. You're a fake friend that wants something out of me that you won't tell me what the heck it is. And then she goes, well, I really like your bows and stuff. And I get that again. I'm like, I said, stop talking about my bows because that's another thing I care about. So I said, what do you want? Because I said, I'm going to end up calling them again. And when they come to your house, you're going to be at juvie for stalking somebody and doing this to them. I said, no. I said, better yet, how about I show up at your door? Okay. I said, I'm going to end up showing up at your... I said, better yet, why don't I show up at your door? She said, you're not going to show up at my door. I said, really? Really? Because I said it's better to be some 1v1 in a second. Because, and I texted her, I said, I have a lot of medical conditions. So I said, if you hurt me, I'm going to sue you. So, she's like, you're not going to do that. I said, it's either me or the cops because I'm done. I said, I am really sick of you. I'm really done with you. You won't stop. I said, I blocked you from so many different numbers. You're really starting to get creepy. So, she's like, well, I'll stop texting you. I'll stop calling you. Please don't call the cops again. Girl, I called those darn people again. I've called them again, baby. And it's not me. It was not me that was ever calling them. It was my mom because she got sick of me. Well, not sick of me. Sick of someone doing this to me. So, I ended up getting texts saying I'm stupid, I'm dumb, you're never going to blow up on the internet, all of this all over again. I'm like, I write her. I said, I'm sick of you. Now, I'm done. My mom calls them again. She screenshots everything and sends it to them. And then the officer calls back and he's like, well, we're really going to take care of this because this should not be going on. And he's like, this is stalking, this is harassment, this is all of this. We're going to go back to the house and talk to them again and ask to see their phone. So, the officer sees the phone, he sees everything going on, and he asks her, why did she do all this? And she doesn't give an answer, she lies. And he's like, because my mom texts the mother on Facebook. So, we tell them, at first, when this all started, before we called them all those times, we texted mom and tells her, this cannot be going on with your daughter. You need to do something about it. The mom writes back, you don't need to tell me how to parent my kid. Why don't you parent yours? My mom texts, I do parent mine. And we're done. Then the mom gets back. Well, I can't control everything my daughter does. I'm like, yes, you can. It's your darn child. So my mom told me all this, and she's like, she writes to mom saying, forget this. We're gonna call the cops for the second time because you can't ever do anything. So they call us and tell us she went to juvie because that's what you get for when you do this all the time. Never talked since then. Never called again. So welcome to my crazy story time. I hope you guys like it, and tell me if you've ever had a friend like this that was really badly fake, because boy, if you have, me and you got something in common. I never trust anybody ever again since that. But see you guys next crazy lit story time. This is one of the crazy lit story times. And make sure you guys like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on so next time I post my video just like this one, because you want to see them all. Go check out part 1 so you guys can see part 2. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I got videos coming for you guys, so stay tuned.